So I was in Patagonia. We were preparing for this trek, and the trek's called the Torres del Paine. And in preparation, we all had to wear our backpacks. These like big burly backpacks with our tents, with all of our equipment that we would have used for this trek. And it turns out that this hike is actually the hardest hike that I've ever done in my entire life. And I'm with this big group of people. I like to be like a little bit ahead of the pack, and I was able to do it. But there was this girl on the trip, and she's a little bit like smaller than me, and I'm pretty freaking small myself. But she was probably like 5'1", 4'11", under 100 pounds. So she was super light, and the wind, it was coming down. I've never seen wind at this strong in my entire life. So we were getting up there. We get up the hill, and I see this girl tumbling down the hill. And at this point, it's like if she keeps going, like she's gonna go off the hill and she's gonna die. So some of the guys, me and another one of the guys who was hiking, start booking it, like running down the hill. And it's so steep that like you have no idea how fast I'm going. It literally feels like I'm free falling. And luckily, like I was the first one there, and like I grabbed her, and we picked her up. We hiked up the rest of the hill, and our hearts were beating. Like we thought this girl was gonna pass away. Like she was unconscious. She like wasn't breathing. One of the guys did CPR on her. She woke up. We like poured water on her. In Patagonia, there's only 3 helicopters that go at once, and there's no connection. We couldn't get help at all. So at this point, we were like, we got to get down as fast as possible. It took us 8 hours to get up the slope, or I don't know if it was 8 hours, but it was a long time. So walking back down, we were like trying to sprint, like carry this girl. She ends up like waking up. She's like, we're helping her. We're able to get down, and she was able to get down okay. And luckily, she made it through. And then she was able to do the trek after. But it kind of just like was a wake up call for me. I was nervous that she was gonna die. I'd never been in a situation like that, and I realized that life is precious. You gotta get through it. You gotta.
Did this experience change your perspective on death, or how close death can be when you least expect it in any moment in life?
Yeah, even though it wasn't myself who was this close to death, it kind of made me realize that you gotta take every, like you can't take a moment for granted. Like it could end like this.
And how did you feel in that moment? What were some of the emotions you were going through? What thoughts were going through your head
I was
as this
scared
unexpected
shitless.
event happened?
I was scared shitless, but at the same time, you couldn't really think about what was going on in the moment because you kind of just had to act. And to be honest, I didn't know I had that capability in me to act like that, and it kind of made me want to help people more in a way where it was like, not that I felt good about myself, but it kind of made me feel like bad things can happen, and sometimes like you need to step in and provide action.
What brought you to Patagonia in the first place on this trip?
Well, I was like, at this time I was at Syracuse University. I was a sophomore, and I was just kind of feeling like I didn't have any motivation. I kind of felt like my life was pointless at this point. I was paying $1 million to go to school. I didn't feel any, like I was doing anything important. And I saw this trip. It was helping people. I was traveling. You were hiking. You're doing all sorts of community service work. And I felt like I had to do it, and I had to get out of the situation I was in. And it turned out it gave me the motivation to actually be a normal person in society and be thankful for what I have.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like this experience was a pivotal moment for you personally, where from what you're telling me, it kind of like reawoke you a bit to life and to get new experiences, just overall like a wake-up call. Can you elaborate a bit more on that,
Yeah,
if that is right? Yeah.
it definitely changed my perspective of life and made me appreciate what I have and made me kind of feel like I have to use the privileges and the luxuries that I've been given to do something. And if I'm just sitting around doing nothing with what I've been given, what's the point? Why was I given all these things and all these opportunities if I'm not going to do anything with them?
Yeah, I guess sometimes we take things for granted, and something needs to happen to make
Yeah.
us appreciate it. And do you feel like that girl, she fell down this hill? That maybe could have been you, could have been her, it could have ended up even worse. Did that, in that moment, was it like very shocking in terms of like, did it shake you out of like a sense of comfort that you have in a way? Did
Her,
that?
her falling down that hill was kind of like the way I was going at my life at that moment. I was just doing all the wrong things. I was kind of falling down mentally and emotionally at the time, and her falling down kind of made me feel like if I was going to catch her, I could catch myself. And I don't want it to seem like I'm selfish in that, and whereas like I did it for myself, but like me catching her and helping save her with the other guides kind of saved myself in a way.
And yeah,
that's good.
do you think we got it?
Yeah, I think we got it.